We should warn you, what you're about to hear could be disturbing.
It shouldn't be, but it is all about the money.
Are you going to start putting money into your campaign? You haven't done that since 2016.
Well, first of all, it's none of your business.
Whenever Fox News talks about the working class, you know, these people.
Do you feel like Donald Trump is in some way God's chosen one as a candidate?
I do.
I have to laugh because the Republican MAGA party / Fox News is about protecting rich white people.
Some will say now that I am calling America a Christian nation. And so I am.
Okay, rich Christian white people. That's what Fox News and Republicans are, period. While giving lip service to Trump's base, none of whom will ever enjoy the rewards of these underhanded efforts, they give corporations huge tax breaks and legislative freedom to stick it to middle America right in the bum. Ow, ow, ow! How do they get away with it? That's a good question, but it is their true talent. So when Laura Ingraham starts hammering a Shark Tank multimillionaire about the Harris campaign, well, you get a taste of just how full of shit they or she really are.
If you're Kamala Harris right now, you're killing it on what matters. What matters in a campaign is money, particularly now, and she's killing it raising money.
Why
so
are the billionaires giving her money? Kevin, you know these people.
No,
My
she's not getting it from
know.
billionaires.
Why?
She's getting it. She's getting it $20 at a time. She's killing it. Look, I'm not defending
Silicon Valley
the
and Wall Street is shoveling money at Kamala Harris. Why is that? You know they are.
Because it's working. Because she's figured out how to get these. Look, I'm just telling you the facts. You don't want to hear them? I won't tell them to you.
No, but
she's raising
it's
money.
not working for regular people. I'm not talking about her campaign. We know that rich people want to keep wages down for the middle class. That's happening, and it's happened over decades.
Well, of course that's happening, but it's not the Democrats or the Harris platform. Trump lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%, and it's still in place. That cost the economy trillions, led to a huge increase in the deficit, and gave zero relief to the sacred middle class. But that shouldn't surprise anyone. Trump has said it out loud. I don't care about you. I only care about your vote.
Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
How do you spin that? Fox News isn't a bunch of hillbillies. No, they're worse. Led by Hannity and Ingraham, they sold out for millions and will say anything, even when it makes them look like a fool. I know. I've been there.
This is in the left. Violence is in the DNA of the American left and always has been.
You're high. But watching Laura try to school Kevin O'Leary, a Republican worth $500 million, on the matter of money and politics is both amusing and terrifying. But first, billionaires can't give millions to a candidate, but instead to a super PAC, who then attack the opposition. And the only reason they can do that is the Republican Supreme Court Citizens United decision, allowing all this dark money to be fed into the scratch my back, I'll scratch you back machine.
Shock, shock, shock. Now, I know that you're not going to be able to believe this, but after passing a $1 trillion tax giveaway for the top 1% in large corporations, the Republican leadership in the Senate has introduced legislation to repeal the estate tax for the wealthiest 1,700 families in America. Got that?
And you never hear Republicans say, let's get money out of politics. This is Senator Chuck Grassley comparing your First Amendment right to criticize your government to a corporation's right to throw billions at people who have the legislative means to make them rich. So every time Grassley says rights, he means cash contributions to politicians. Listen.
We value, as is demonstrated here today, free speech with emphasis upon protecting the most important of all speech in a democracy.
Shut up and take my money.
Political speech as much as any of those other rights in the First Amendment, and more so.
No! God, please, no!
4 liberal justices have an upside-down understanding of the Constitution. They would vote to allow the Congress to limit your right to participate in the political process.
Shut up and take my money.
By limiting speech.
What you have there is a basic difference between Democrats and MAGA. Democrats, like Harris, take PAC money, but unlike Fox and MAGA, propose ways to improve the lives of the poor and middle class, like school lunches, higher minimum wage, lower costs for college students, real communist stuff.
And we're going communist, don't kid yourself.
What do Fox and MAGA endorse? Anti-labor legislation, fewer environmental protections. And have you ever heard of Project 2025?
The federal oath of office now requires declaring loyalty to the president, not the Constitution. Protected by the Supreme Court's grant of total immunity for official acts, Donald Trump orders the Department of Justice to arrest members of the January 6th Commission.
You know that line in A Few Good Men?
Respect the code.
What's the code? Unit, core, God, country. Well, the Republicans have a code too, but it's more like me. More money, you go f yourself. And they aren't shy about it. Ingram tries to steamroll O'Leary, implying that Harris is doing just like them, but the numbers don't support it. While Harris's numbers have been climbing against Trump in recent weeks, she also enjoyed a fundraising boon. In July, her campaign hauled in more than $300 million. And to O'Leary's point, 2/3 of the donations came from first-time donors, and 94% of the contributions were for $200 or less. Compare that to Trump and the $10 million Egypt reportedly gave him in 2016.
As we turn now to a major investigation into Donald Trump's relationship with the Egyptian government, which reportedly tried to funnel $10 million in cash to Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. The cash weighed about 200 pounds when it was withdrawn from a state-run bank in Cairo just 5 days before Trump took office as president in 2017. And investigators suspected Trump expected to be repaid by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. But questions about the transaction went unanswered by the Justice Department under Trump's Attorney General Bill Barr, who closed the case, citing, quote, a lack of sufficient evidence.
Does that surprise anyone? Add to that Clarence Thomas, you know, the guy in the Supreme Court who has received millions from private donors and corporations and whose wife was at the January 6th insurrection.
Fuck these Democrats! Where's that?
Okay, a couple things there. Ingram showed her true colors when she made a case against Monday's ruling that Google was monopolistic. The judge ruled that Google violated antitrust law, spending billions of dollars to create an illegal monopoly and become the world's default search engine. How do you know Google is a monopoly? Google it. That's a good one. And secondly, O'Leary makes a case about policy. And when will we hear about Harris's plans for America? That's a fair question, but Fox and Trump already know the answer, and they lie about it.
If Kamala Harris gets in, she would be the most radical far-left extremist ever to occupy the White House times 10. There's never been a lunatic like this.
Harris is a strong law and order candidate, and as a former badass prosecutor, she's tough on crime.
And then their campaign says, I'm the prosecutor, and he is the convicted felon.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
And no, she didn't go to the border for a photo op like Fat Dottie, because that's not how you get things done. And what else differentiates her from Trump? Well, she's a bull, tough. And that's why Trump won't debate her in any form except Fox, where he knows they will protect his feeble mind from Harris's sharp and poised wit.
Donald Trump wants to take our country backward. But we are not going back.
Trump has little or no knowledge about the issues facing the middle class, and he doesn't care what you think.
Here's the good news. I'm very rich.
But Harris can make her case on Fox in a debate and make a clear case between the two of them. Oh, yeah, and this would make it even more interesting.
She should say, I'll debate him on Fox on the night of September 18th. Because I happen to know he's going to be in Manhattan on the 18th, because that's when they're going to sentence him. Oh. And I'm sure Judge Merchan would give a delay in the execution of sentencing to allow him to show up at a debate. So if you want to have a debate, let's have it on Fox, and let's have it September the 18th when he's in an ankle bracelet.
So yes, there is money in politics, and yes, Democrats get plenty. But the difference is clear. The Democrats get smaller amounts from a larger base, and Republicans get the majority of dark super PAC money from donors unknown.
Shock, shock, shock.
Most of us have never met a billionaire, but we've all been screwed by one.
Damn right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Don.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, right.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.